New York.
Apple.
Hot dogs.
Dollar.
Hollywood.
Democracy.
Freedom.
Rock and roll.
Wall Street.
Statue of Liberty.
Los Angeles, California.
McDonald's.
Jeans.
Bubblegum. Video games. Nintendo.
What's so great about America?
Every Saturday night, 7 to 9 p.m., explore American culture and language.
With Master Steve,
Ina MK,
And Hasba Cutie.
tune in to find out about what makes America so great.
The Great American Weekend. Listen exclusively on Radio Von 103.1.
Also, watch us on the Radio Von Facebook page, website, and mobile app. Welcome to the Great American Weekend here on Radio Von. I am Master Steve, and I'm here with
Ina MK, and we're gonna be with you tonight till 9 p.m. 2 hours of education, information, fun, and
2 hours of us.
2 hours
minus
of
the
us.
commercial breaks, because somebody's got to pay the bills, right?
Yeah, of course, as always.
And
of course,
we've
the
got
music breaks.
We've got some interesting. Oh well, yeah, music too.
Yeah, of course.
Wouldn't be radio without music. Wouldn't be American without music.
That's
right?
for sure. And Master Steve, I'd like to remind our listeners that they can watch and listen us live on our official Facebook page, which is Radio Von FM 103.1. And
Our Facebook group, The Great American Weekend.
and our website and the application. And tonight, I would like to say winter
Burr.
is coming. No, winter is not coming. Winter has already come. And you can see
it's
us
still
here
not that bad yet.
already and set up.
Yeah, we're all starting to bundle up
Yeah.
to stay warm.
And I'm pretty ready for snow, actually.
I am too. I mean, we already. When does it usually snow here for the first time in Europe?
Well, it depends. For the past couple of years, our climate has been doing something weird with us.
Yeah, I mean, there are some winters here where in the city we really don't get that much snow.
Yeah, like last year, it was so warm, and Sasha, my son, was waiting for snow the whole time, and he didn't even get to use his
Go up to the
sleigh.
mountains. Go up to the mountains.
I know. So Tzachkadzor, the best place.
Yeah, and actually last year I didn't make it to Tzachkadzor. I usually do. I usually make it up there the last few years to do a little bit of skiing.
I think we should do it this time.
Oh yeah, I'm going to.
Grab
I'm
the
going.
kids.
I'm going skiing
Do
this winter.
So guys, as you might have guessed, our theme is winter. Winter, everything about it, interesting facts, quotes as well.
Quotes, yeah. We also have, in this first week or so of December, has what I think are some really important American birthdays.
Oh, yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
So tomorrow, December 8th, in 1925, Sammy Davis Jr. was born.
Mm-hmm.
The great singer, comedian, actor, tap dancer, kind of jack of all trades. Then December 12th, his good buddy, Frank Sinatra, was
Yay.
born. Old Blue Eyes, the chairman of the board.
My way.
Oh, and that, yeah, his
One
great,
of my favorites.
his great comeback song. There's a great story about that song.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Can we hear it?
Not now.
Okay.
A little bit later. And another one here, December 5th, so it was just a couple of days ago, was Walt Disney's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And Walt Disney, who was born in 1901.
A guy who made our childhood. Actually.
Yeah, I know. It's so crazy that these three guys, especially Sinatra and Walt Disney, they had a huge influence on American culture. I mean, my childhood would not have been even close to the same without these three guys. You know, Frank Sinatra was a favorite of both my grandfather and my father. So
it's
I grew
so
up
great to
listening
have relatives with a good taste, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I
And
think
there was always good music in my house when I was growing up. From Sinatra and Dean Martin, some Sammy Davis Jr. all the way up through what my dad listened to when he was a kid. That was his new music, the oldies, Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry,
of course,
all of
the
those.
classics.
Yeah, going through, just great music. And, so speaking of, we've got Sammy Davis Jr.'s birthday is coming up, and so is Frank Sinatra. And I mentioned Dean Martin. And one of the things I would like to talk about tonight is the Rat Pack.
The Rat Pack.
Yeah.
Now, what in the world is that?
The Rat Pack is, you know what Las Vegas is, right?
Of course.
The Rat Pack might actually be responsible for Las Vegas being as big and as popular as it is today. So what was the original Rat Pack was just a group of famous singers and actors that would hang out together in Hollywood in the 1950s. And they would hang out at Humphrey Bogart's house.
So
and you're
Rat,
talking about Mickey
R-A-T?
Rooney. Yeah.
Okay.
Mickey Rooney and Sinatra and Dean Martin and just the who's who of Hollywood at that time.
The golden...
Yeah, that golden era of Hollywood. And they, apparently a bunch of these guys went out to Vegas one weekend and came back, and Bogart's wife said, "You guys look like a bunch of rats." I mean, they came back and they had just had like an incredible, kind of party weekend or whatever. And they kind of stuck. Then Bogart died, and the dynamics of it changed a little bit. And it was primarily Joey Bishop, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin. And they were all performers, of course. And they had some friends who were in the casino business, and I forget exactly how this works out, but they were getting asked to go out to Vegas and perform in the casinos to draw in people. And since they were all buddies and they would be out there at the same time, sometimes they would just pop in on one another's shows. So the bill,
and it would make it so popular.
The bill would be, Frank Sinatra is performing tonight. And then it would be, and maybe Sammy will show up.
And who knows?
Sammy. And if you can just imagine these guys, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, and Frank Sinatra were the tops, both in film and in music at the time. And so people would just flock to Las Vegas.
Of course, I bet.
To see these guys, and especially to see them interact with one another and do improv and just
like live action show.
So it the myth is that had the Rat Pack played a part in establishing Las Vegas as an entertainment destination for adults. Right. And actually it's funny because we all call it the Rat Pack, but apparently after it shifted from Bogart kind of being the head to Sinatra being the head,
the mafia.
Sinatra
would say he's the mafia.
No. They wouldn't. I mean, Sinatra didn't like that name, and I'm not sure whether it's that he didn't like it at all or whether he didn't like the new group to be called the Rat Pack because he didn't want it to be, Bogart had died by that point, and the dynamics of it had changed. Anyway, but so Walt Disney, whose birthday was a couple of days ago, he changed travel and vacations for Americans with kids.
And we'll find out how he did it right after
we got to pay the
break.
bills, right? Yeah.
And sometimes when Master Steve speaks, I hear this sound in my head. You know nothing, Jon Snow. You know nothing. We'll be back after the break. Stay tuned. This is the Great American Weekend till 9 p.m. on 103.1 in the studio with Master Steve and Ina MK.
Come and hang with us every weekend. It'll be a blast.
A blast?
Yeah, a good time.
No, come chill with us. It'll be cool.
chill?
Yeah, relax, hang out.
Come chew the fat with us
Yuck! No way! Join us!
on the Great American Weekend, where we'll help you decode American slang.
Welcome back to the Great American Weekend here on Radio Vaughn.
Welcome to winter time. And you know, whenever the first day of winter starts, it's always like this anticipation of Christmas and New Year's.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And of course, my son is torturing me to put the Christmas tree. Do you have the Christmas tree already?
No,
No,
not yet,
not yet. Okay.
but very soon.
Very soon. Coming soon. Okay.
Well, see, that's the thing. You know, we were talking a couple of weeks ago about kind of these American traditions, and Christmas season starts Black Friday. That's why Black Friday is Black Friday, right? Just after Thanksgiving. But that's because we have Christmas on December 25th. I mean, you guys have Christmas later. So
Of course.
when does the Christmas season start?
It's like kind of like a New Year season
Yeah.
in Armenia, because New Year is bigger deal with the presents and everything. We get the presents on the New Year's Eve and for New Year's rather than for Christmas. Armenian Christmas is all connected more with church traditions, you know, making the pilaf, the raisin and rice, and drinking wine and congratulating each other. So
Glintwein?
Glintwein,
Yeah.
why not?
That's one of my. That's something I
favorites?
love about.
Okay,
about
I'll remember
winter.
that.
You know, the nice warm wine with some cinnamon and some
Yeah, I
rum
love
and
cinnamon.
some cloves in it, brown sugar, mix it all in there, heat
And
it up on the stove.
Christmas is always about cinnamon scent for me.
Yeah,
It reminds me of Christmas always. So
gingerbread cookies.
yeah.
Gingerbread cookies, yeah. So what are some of your favorite, like, winter memories from childhood?
Yeah, of course, that playing with my dad and mom, and mostly with my dad, because dad loved to take me out and make a snowman, and just walking and going places with him when it snowed. Playing the snowballs, of course, with friends as well. And of course, I was waiting to ride the sleighs. And so if it didn't happen, I remember we would make sleighs from this piece of...
Sleds. You mean little sleds?
Yeah.
Yeah, to slide down the hills with?
Yeah. Sleds, yeah, sorry. What was I saying?
Well, sleighs. I mean, a sleigh
Sleighs.
is like a bigger
one,
you
yeah.
know, like something you would have horses pull.
So-
Or reindeer.
Reindeer. I wish I had one when I was a child. So we would make these sleds out of piece of like a thick paper, not a paper but a carton.
Oh yeah, cardboard.
Yeah,
Big piece of cardboard.
So we would sit on it, and if there was this an appropriate area outside in the neighborhood.
Where are there hills that you can go sledding on in Yerevan?
In Yerevan, maybe in Newark
Okay.
district.
Yeah, like down in the center, there really
Yeah.
isn't much. I know I've taken my kids in the past and driven out of town like half an hour and then driven up some big hills in the middle of nowhere just so we could have a snowball fight. And, you know, because here in the city, the snow melts faster.
Yeah.
You get out of the city and there's usually more accumulated and
And
it's
we
more
have the
fun.
beautiful snow park. What was it called? Winter park.
Oh yeah, the winter park.
It's so fun for kids. Back then, during my childhood,
There was nothing.
I
nothing
only
like that.
had wooden toys.
I had to walk uphill to school in the snow both ways, even if there wasn't snow.
Basically, just like all the kids, I would wait for snow to play with my parents and my friends and then my classmates, and we would enjoy that greatly.
Yeah, we would. I grew up in the suburbs, which is different from where I live now. So my kids are growing up. We're growing up in downtown Yerevan. And that's different because it is more difficult a little bit to find places to go sledding and to find a lot of snow for snowball fights. But I remember I don't think I ever really played with my parents in the snow that much. It's more like us kids would get all dressed up and go out and play in the snow while my parents were shoveling the driveway and clearing the snow off of it, And that was always...
Poor people.
Well, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to clear the snow off the driveway. Otherwise, it just turns into, a big icy patch, and then you can't get your cars out of the driveway and drive anywhere.
It's fun. Leave the cars, just walk and...
Again.
The reindeer.
Again.
Yeah, the reindeer.
No, again, the suburbs. In American suburbs, it's, like a kilometer before you get to anything aside from other houses.
You're forgetting, I lived in Indiana.
Exactly, yeah.
On a farm.
And in Minnesota, it's cold in the winter. I mean, we've already got snow. We usually get the first snowfall before Thanksgiving in Minnesota. And so they've got a few inches of snow on the ground in Minnesota already. And it won't go back above freezing. So for us in Yerevan here, it won't go back above 0 probably until end of February, March. Yeah. It'll be below 0, and then it might even be below 0, meaning like below 0
below
Fahrenheit.
0.
Because in Fahrenheit, freezing is 32. So saying it's below 0 to a Minnesotan is it's cold.
And we're almost below 0 with our...
But we've got 0 time left. We got to go pay the bills. All right.
Yeah, guys, we'll be back after the break. Stay tuned. This is the Great American Weekend, and we're talking about winter.
Hello?
Hi, is your refrigerator running?
No, it doesn't have any legs.
Some American jokes just don't work with foreigners.
Hey, welcome back to the Great American Weekend on Radio Van. We are warm and cozy because it's winter, but we're here in the studio wearing all kinds of warm stuff.
I got my hat on.
Yeah,
I got my hat on.
I got mine too.
Ina
And
MK
there is a
and
little
Master
alien.
Steve.
If you guys don't see it, there is a little alien
Where's the
on
camera?
Steven's hat.
What time is it in the world?
That's a tough question. Depends on which country you mean.
So there's a story behind the hat. What time is it in the world?
Should we hear the story now or later? Okay.
Nah, we'll save that for some other time.
Okay, well, maybe when we talk about aliens.
We
should do that, actually.
We should have an episode about alien abductions.
Yeah,
because that's a
uniquely
American thing,
culture.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I know. And there are so many movies about
Armenians don't have alien abductions.
I know we've seen some aliens once, and the whole country was talking about it. It was like a flying object. There was this light in the air, in the sky, and everybody was speaking about that, taking pictures and stuff. But that's the only case in my life I remember that happening in Yerevan.
When was that?
I'm afraid to be mistaken. Well, a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that. But that wouldn't necessarily be something that I would remember. Aliens all the time, man. I'm from the U.S. Aliens abduct people all the time.
I'm used to aliens, guys. Okay, guys. So quotes.
Let's get back on track.
Yeah, let's get back to life. Let's get back to Earth. And we have prepared some quotes for you guys, as usually. And this time they are about winter. The first one, let's go. It is the life of the crystal, the architect of the flake, the fire of the frost, the soul of the sunbeam. This crisp winter air is full of it. John Burroughs. So poetic.
Yeah.
A nice start. In the depth of winter, I finally learned that there was in me an invincible summer. Albert Camus.
Albert Camus, yes, The Invincible Summer.
The endless
Nice.
summer. To appreciate the beauty of a snowflake, it is necessary to stand out in the cold. Aristotle.
Well, yeah, there's
To
always a
compare
cost.
stuff.
There's always a cost to appreciate the beauty of a snowflake. It's necessary to stand out in
And
the
there
cold.
is a deep philosophy in this one. If we had no winter, the spring would not be so pleasant. If we did not sometimes taste of adversity, prosperity would not be so welcome. On
Or-
Bradstreet.
Or would not be as appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think there's a Nietzsche quote, and a lot of people think that it's really a nasty one,
Mm-hmm.
but he says, I wish that all of the important people in my life would suffer more.
Yeah.
And he doesn't mean it like I want them to suffer, but he was very much, well, he also has the quote, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Exactly.
So-
There's a sequel.
Yeah. So without the winter,
You will
we
never
wouldn't appreciate the summer as
summer.
much.
The next one is people don't notice whether it's winter or summer when they're happy.
Oh, but what if it's the summer or the winter that's making you happy?
Tricky questions by Master Steve. And the
Beautiful
quote-
snow-covered sunny winter days make me happy.
sunny winter days.
Yeah.
Anton Chekhov was the author of the previous quote, the famous Russian writer. My old grandmother always used to say, summer friends will melt away like summer snows, but winter friends are friends forever. George R.R. Martin. A Feast for Cows.
Wait,
I've never
George
heard
R.R. Martin.
I've never heard about this book, but it sounds funny, A Feast for Cows. But I like the quote.
Yeah, that is good. Isn't he the author of Game of Thrones?
He is?
I don't know. It
Just
sounds.
Google.
Let's Google it. I wouldn't know, but it sounds. Go on.
Laughter. Yeah.
Victor Hugo.
Laughter is the sun that drives winter from the human's face. Victor Hugo. The color of springtime is in the flowers. The color of winter is in the imagination. Terry Gilmant.
Nice.
Gilmant.
So yeah, George R.R. Martin is the author of the Game of Thrones books, where it all started.
There you go. There you go. Quoting the greats. You know nothing, Jon Snow. And it's, again, about snow.
Snow, Jon Snow, yeah.
This guy loves snow. They who sing through the summer must dance in the winter. This is an Italian proverb.
They must?
Yeah, they must.
They must.
Just go ahead and dance.
Who's enforcing that imperative?
Italians.
These guys? Okay.
A man says a lot of things in summer he doesn't mean. A man says a lot of things in summer he doesn't mean in winter. Patricia Briggs. Dragon's Blood.
Now, I wonder if that's supposed to be taken literally or also metaphorically.
And I think it's metaphorically.
I mean, during the good times, a person says a lot of things that during the hard times they don't mean.
They don't mean. I mean, when everything is okay, you kind of are happy and you're ready for everything. And then winter comes.
When it's summertime and the living is easy.
Easy, yeah. And the living is easy. That did sound familiar. Winter forms our character and brings out our best. Tom Allen. We cannot stop the winter or the summer from coming. We cannot stop the spring or the fall or make them other than they are. They are gifts from the universe that we cannot refuse, but we can choose what we will contribute to life when each arrives. Gary Zukav.
They are gifts that we cannot refuse. Why?
Just accept them.
Calling them gifts puts a bright note on it. It makes it optimistic.
Yeah.
They are punishments that we cannot avoid.
You see, it's all about approach.
Words,
it's all about
yes.
attitude.
Words are very important.
There is just something beautiful about walking on snow that nobody else has walked on. It makes you believe you're special. Carol Rivka Brunt.
Nice.
And what do we have
I've
next?
got a couple of quotes
Okay.
from a couple of the birthday boys that we were talking about earlier, and then I've got a quiz for you.
Oh, wow.
I've got a couple of quizzes
Cool,
for you.
cool. Let's do
Right?
it quickly so we...
Okay, so alcohol gives you infinite patience for stupidity.
Infinite patience.
Infinite patience for stupidity.
I think
That's Sammy.
even alcohol is powerless.
Sammy
in this case.
Davis Jr. Sammy Davis Jr. And here's a Sinatra quote.
Oh,
People often remark that I am pretty lucky. Luck is only important insofar as getting the chance to sell yourself at the right moment. After that, you've got to have talent and know how to use it.
a wise man. We cannot doubt that.
Well, yeah, and that's true. Sinatra he was lucky. He got his break. He was lucky, but then he worked hard. And he had some times where his career kind of fell apart or stalled. You always forget that when you think about Sinatra. He was just always famous and really popular.
He
No,
was
he
just
wasn't.
always there.
He had real low points in his personal life and in his career, and he worked his way through them.
People not always see the stuff that's behind the curtains.
Yeah. Oh wait. Okay. So I gotta say, these are timed questions. So let me start this over again.
Cool. We've got plenty of time, so...
Well, no. But if I don't read it right away, then it'll not let you answer.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. The Frank Sinatra quiz. How much do you know about Sinatra?
Oh my, I'm gonna
Ready?
be ashamed.
No. Come on.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. What was Sinatra's chart-topping duet with his daughter Nancy? Unforgettable, Something Stupid, Jackson, or These Boots Are Made for Walking?
Something stupid.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
So
One
Unforgettable
question out of 20.
was the duet that Nat King Cole
Unforgettable. That's what you want.
was made to do with his daughter digitally. They never actually sang together that song, but it was because he died fairly young, and Natalie Cole was still young, and in fact, Nat King Cole was part of the Rat Pack, the original one with Humphrey Bogart. Anyway, and These Boots Are Made for Walking was actually Nancy Sinatra's big solo hit. Okay, next question.
Okay. Ready?
All right, here we go. Which of the following is not a nickname for Frank Sinatra? Chairman of the Board, Old Blue Eyes, Aqualung, or The Voice?
Aqualung.
Yes, that is correct.
yeah,
I don't even know where they got that from. That's just such an
It's
Aqualung.
that's a weird
Man with the golden arm.
Okay.
Okay, next question. Finish the lyric. That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April. Now come what may. Too late to play. Shot down in May. Or got tooth decay.
I don't know.
I had to stop myself. You're riding high in April. 4, 3.
Okay, number 3.
Yep, you got it. Shot down in May.
I'm lucky.
You are. I had to keep myself from I know that song so well. I had to keep myself from just going on and telling you the answer when I was reading the thing.
Sorry.
Okay, next question. Who was not a member of the Rat Pack? Sammy Davis Jr., Paul Newman, Dean Martin, or Peter Lawford?
4.
Dean Martin?
The 4th.
The fourth one was Dean Martin. Sammy Davis Jr., Paul Newman, Peter Lawford or Dean Martin?
Help. A call to a friend.
Call to a friend?
Help. Yeah. Okay, number 1.
Sammy Davis Jr.? No, that's wrong. Paul Newman was not.
Okay, I
So-
wasn't careful.
Peter Lawford is the one that I always forget. That was a member of the Rat Pack, the group that was always performing in Las Vegas. And he was actually a brother-in-law to John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Lawford. And that's part of how Sinatra got roped into doing some campaign stuff.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, for John F. Kennedy.
Connection.
Yeah.
I thought that was only in Armenia.
Oh, no. Hollywood is always getting involved in politics. Okay, next
I'm liking
question.
The next question.
Who was Sinatra's From Here to Eternity bar fight opponent? In the movie From Here to Eternity, who did he fight? George Kennedy, Ernest Borgnine, Burl Ives, or Montgomery Clift? I can't help you on this one. I've seen the movie, but I don't remember.
Okay, let's go for the 4th.
Montgomery Clift?
Yeah.
Montgomery Clift. Let's see. That is not right. It's Ernest Borgnine.
Ow.
Next question. What was Sinatra's boyhood hometown? Where did he grow up? Hoboken, New Jersey, Allentown, Pennsylvania, Newark, New Jersey, or Steubenville, Ohio? I'll give you a hint. He's famous for being from New York.
Yeah.
And he got his
what
start in New York.
What were the 2 options?
So Hoboken, New Jersey, Allentown, Pennsylvania, Newark, New Jersey, or Steubenville, Ohio?
New Jersey, New York.
Well, which Newark?
New York.
Newark, New Jersey? Oh, no. Hoboken, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Hoboken. The only reason I have ever heard of Hoboken, New Jersey.
Okay.
All right. Which of these was a Sinatra standard? Saturday in the Park, The Night Chicago Died, Sweet Home Chicago, or My Kind of Town? What's one of his famous songs?
From the way you say it. My kind of
Sorry.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
see, I can't. I'm
Thank you.
giving this stuff away.
Thank you for the hint.
That is correct. My Kind of Town, which is about the city of Chicago.
I love Chicago. I love Chicago.
Young Frank's rabid teenage female fans were called Lily Marlins, Whiz Kids, Bobby Soxers, or Zoot Suiters?
Bobby Soxers?
That is correct. Well, some people say that he's the first, performer to have that teenage girl madness.
Fan.
We think of Beatlemania as being the first, but Sinatra in his day had that going on. They were crazy about it.
Sinatra is kind of more of adults. Not teenagers.
No, when he got his start, when he was young and he got his start, the teenage girls were crazy about him.
Okay.
Yeah, but he had staying power, and he was, for a long time. Anyway, next question. Which of these women was never married to Frank Sinatra? Nancy Barbato, Lauren Bacall, Mia Farrow, Ava Gardner?
Ava Gardner.
Wrong.
Damn.
No. Lauren Bacall.
Okay.
Who, if I remember correctly, was actually married to Humphrey Bogart.
Duh. Uh-oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. In which film does Sinatra's character lead a World War II POW escape? Some Came Running, The Man with the Golden Arm, Von Ryan's Express, or The Manchurian Candidate?
The Man with the Golden Arm.
Okay. Wrong. Von Ryan's Express. The Man with the Golden Arm is actually a movie about, and I think he got, did he win? I know he got nominated, and he might have won an Academy Award for that. And it's a movie about drug addiction.
No, to be honest, I haven't seen either. Sorry.
But yeah, it was a controversial film at the time, and he decided to do it because he was such kind of an anti-drug advocate that he decided to play the part of a drug addict in a movie that was very much anti-drugs. Yeah. Okay, your results.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, you got the first two you got right, third one, fourth, fifth, sixth you got wrong, seventh and eighth you got right, 9 and 10 were wrong. You got 55 out of 230.
It's not bad. 55 out of
230.
what is that score?
I took it a couple of days ago and I got something like 120 or whatever.
Oh,
this is from the Britannica.com website, so they rate you on this. The community average is 173 and I got about 120.
Okay, I'll learn. I'll practice. Oh, thank you. That was fun. That was interesting. And it's always cool that you learn stuff in the process. So we've got like 4 more minutes, and what are we in the mood to speak about? Do you have any more quizzes?
Well, I could, the My Way, one of Sinatra's famous songs. And that's, when I was looking for Frank Sinatra quotes to share tonight, I ended up finding a bunch of them that were stuff that he sang in songs. And Sinatra never wrote. He never wrote music. He never wrote lyrics. He just performed. And so a lot of the quotes that were there were lyrics from songs that he sang. And I don't know whether that really counts because he didn't write
he was the author of them.
Yeah. He's famous for being able to bring a song alive. And he can totally do that. And in fact, if you listen to different recordings of the same song that he's done at different times in his career, he can make the song into something else just by the inflection of his voice and the way he pronounces things. It's great. But you had mentioned earlier one of his famous songs, My Way.
And it's such a man's song. This is how my impression of it is.
Yeah. He didn't write it, of course. Paul Anka, another singer and friend of Sinatra's, wrote it.
Is for the way you look.
No, no.
Paul Anka.
Yeah. Paul Anka did do that song. Yeah. And so he wrote the song and sent it to Sinatra. And Sinatra was, I think, if I remember right, he was at kind of a low point in his career. Not that he ever had any really horribly low points, but he wanted to...
A little depressed.
He wanted to have a big comeback and be on top again. And so Paul Anka wrote this song for him, and he was a little, maybe a little worried that Sinatra might not like it. And the next thing you know, and so he doesn't hear from Sinatra
because he
for a
would
long
get
time.
killed?
And he thought, well, maybe he didn't like it, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And the next thing he knows, he's getting a call from Sinatra. And he goes, oh, hey, Paul, you got to listen to this. And he just holds the phone up. And there it is. The song is done. It's recorded. And, he's going to release it soon. And it became, of course, a standard for Sinatra. It's like one of his most iconic songs. Yeah. And then Paul Anka recorded it later. Elvis Presley recorded it at one point. Sid Vicious from the Sex Pistols recorded it. But yeah, just a huge song.
That option.
But there's another. How much time do we have? We got a little bit of time. Another short story.
1 minute.
1 minute? Nah.
I'm like the time guard,
2 shots of happy, 1 shot of sad is another song that was written for Sinatra that he unfortunately never got to record. But it was written by Bono and the Edge from U2. And they did the same thing. They sent it to him and they were afraid that it might offend him. because of the content of the lyrics. He said, no, I love it. But he was like 80 years old and he wasn't recording anymore. So he said, no, my voice isn't strong enough to record it. So he never did record it. But apparently he really liked the song. And for Frank's 80th birthday party, Bono and the Edge performed it.
For him.
Yeah. It's a great song. If you've never heard it, look it up.
Maybe we can have it.
2 shots of happy, 1 shot of sad.
2 shots
I'm not
of
complaining, baby, I'm glad. It's a great. The lyrics are wonderful. The lyrics are wonderful, and they just so fit Sinatra, I think.
And we have to fit.
And we have to fit in a commercial break. We'll be back after the commercials talking more about winter.
Ina, what would make America great again?
More barbecue.
No, we need more freedom. That's what'll make it great.
Join us on Great American Weekend.
And help us solve all of America's problems.
Every show is recorded by the NSA and sent to the White House.
Welcome back to the Great American Weekend here on Radio Vaughn. I'm here with Ina MK.
And I'm here, guess what, with Master Steve. And we're here with Winter in our studio.
Winter, the Rat Pack. And we got to get to Walt Disney, too. We got to talk about Walt Disney.
The Frozen.
Yeah, Frozen.
I
haven't seen it yet. Yeah,
on.
Frozen 2 is out there. I haven't seen it yet.
Make sure you go and watch it.
Yeah.
All the kids love it and all the songs. Na, na, na,
I've got
na,
another
na.
quiz.
Oh, of course.
Okay, I've got another quiz.
You're going to embarrass me for the second
No.
time?
No.
Okay.
This is not a knowledge quiz. This is
Okay.
one of the... Which member of the Rat Pack are you?
Oh, I like that one. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for character discovery test.
Okay, here we go. How smooth is your style, Ina?
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually pretty awkward.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little too energetic to be considered smooth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about as smooth as you can get,
Mm-hmm.
or I definitely have my smooth moments.
I think it's number 2, maybe.
I'm a little too energetic to be considered smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Do you do any impressions?
Mm-hmm.
I don't do impressions. I try to do impressions, but I'm not very good at them.
What do they mean by do impressions?
Impressions? Like to imitate somebody.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah.
Always.
I try to do impressions, but I'm not very good at them.
Uh-huh.
I have a huge repertoire of impressions that I can do. I can do a couple that are pretty good.
Oh, you know what? I've been doing that at school and a lot. So if that counts, then I have a huge repertoire of.
You have a huge
impressions.
repertoire of impressions that you can do? Okay, cool. Well, but you've never shared them with us.
Oh, because they're in Armenian.
Oh.
Well,
okay.
I will. Okay.
What color are your eyes?
Oh, okay. It's greenish, brownish.
Brown, hazel, green, or blue?
Hazel.
Hazel, okay. Hazel eyes. Would you be good at hosting a talk show?
Now that's a funny one.
I would be a great talk show host.
Please answer for
I
me.
wouldn't be I wouldn't be terrible at it, but it's probably not my calling in life. Nope, I would be awful at it, or I would definitely be entertaining. I think it's.
What was the first option?
I would be a great talk show host, or I would definitely be entertaining.
Okay,
those are
let's
the-
have the entertaining
Okay.
one. Because
I don't know what exactly is the difference between I would be a great talk show host or I would definitely be entertaining.
Well, it can be like you can be funny and you can be a dork and it's still entertaining.
That's true. How much do you drink?
Oh.
Way more than you should. You keep things in moderation sometimes.
Okay.
I have a few pops every night, or I don't drink.
It's number 2.
I keep things in moderation sometimes.
Well, I mean,
I think so.
I
think
don't drink a
You
lot.
don't drink a lot? Okay, so you don't drink. Okay.
No, I drink.
Well, no, but I mean,
sometimes.
there's really no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From occasion to occasion.
How would you describe your love life? Rocky, stable, passionate, or boring?
Rocky, what they mean by that?
Like unpredictable, difficult?
Yeah, Rocky.
Rocky. How good is your vision? I need glasses, but I see well. I need glasses, but I see well with them. Well, hopefully you would if you.
I'm blind.
I don't see all that great. I have decent vision, or I can see like a hawk.
A hawk.
All right. How popular are you? I'm beloved by all those I meet. I'm well loved by pretty much everyone I know. There are some people that think I'm pretty amazing. Not a lot of people know who I am.
Answer for me. I don't know. Please.
I'm
trust you.
well loved by pretty much everyone I know.
Well, okay.
Which song
truth,
title sums you up the best? Mr. Bojangles. Everybody loves somebody. Please be kind. My way.
My way.
How would you
My way
describe?
and please be kind.
How would you describe your sense of humor? Dry, gregarious, dark, or goofy?
Goofy.
Goofy. All right. Are you a good dancer? I'm a total klutz. I'm an amazing dancer. I'm pretty light on my feet. I'm not terrible, but I don't dance very much.
Oh, one of the three first. I love dancing.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say I'm amazing.
I'm
dancer.
pretty light on my feet.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Light
because-
on your feet meaning you can dance well.
Yeah, because it's not so unmodest to say I'm an amazing dancer. Okay.
Are you more likely to stand out from the crowd or blend into the scenery?
Oh, it depends.
I tend to stand out, but I'd actually prefer to blend into the scenery more. I tend to blend in. I'm a pretty laid back person, but my talents do make me stand out. Or, oh, you're going to notice me, baby.
You're gonna notice me, baby.
How many times have you been married? Once or never?
Once.
2, 3, or more than 3?
Once.
In a comedy duo, would you be more of the stooge or the straight man? Do you know what that means?
I know.
The stooge is like the goofy one, and the straight man is the one who tries to be serious and who is usually the butt of the jokes.
Goofy.
Yeah. So I mean, the famous, like the really famous is Dean
The
Martin.
combination.
Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. Dean Martin was serious, and Jerry Lewis was crazy.
I'm Jerry Lewis.
Hello, ladies.
Yeah, that's me.
I'd rather not be in the act, but I'd be the straight man for sure. I'm definitely the straight man. I'm the total stooge in the act, or I'm more of a solo performer.
No, not a solo.
No, so I'm the total stooge in the act? Okay. Can your smile light up the room?
They say.
Absolutely, I have a huge smile. I suppose you could say that. Not at all, or I wouldn't go that far.
Maybe the first out of...
Okay. Absolutely, I have a huge smile. I would agree with that. Which location in California is most appealing to you? Newport Beach?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I've never been there.
Newport Beach, Beverly Hills, Palm Springs. I'd rather be in New York.
I'd rather be in New York. I love that answer. Thank you. Thanks to the author.
Which game are you most likely to play in Vegas? Craps, blackjack, roulette, or the slots?
I don't know either of that.
You don't know any?
Blackjack.
Blackjack? All right.
Except that one. So
That would be my pick too.
yeah.
Of the shows playing in Vegas now, which would you rather see? Celine Dion. This is a little dated, this quiz, apparently.
No.
Celine Dion, Blue Man Group, Beatles Love, or Cirque du Soleil?
Cirque du Soleil.
Are you more of a musician or a comedian?
Musician.
Okay.
Well,
I'm a
what do they mean by musician? Sorry.
Well, do you play music, or are you more... Because the guys in the Rat Pack, they were all performers. They were actors, comedians,
Yeah. Okay,
singers.
I'll go for music.
Okay, I'm a total comedian. I'm equal parts musician and comedian. I have a little comedian in me, but I'm mostly a musician, or I'm a total musician.
Oh, the third one is good.
Okay. All right. Do you prefer the original or the more modern version of Ocean's 11? I haven't seen either. I never seen the old one. The old one was way better, or I like the modern one a little bit more.
I've never seen the old one, if there is like old one.
Oh, yeah. There was one with the Rat Pack in it. With the, old black and white.
That one.
Okay. Which Vegas casino would you rather visit? The Mirage, Caesar's Palace, Mandalay Bay, or Bellagio?
Well, I know that there's Cirque du Soleil in Bellagio. That's why I would visit
That's where
that
you would...
one.
Okay, all right. Do you enjoy playing golf? I'm an excellent golfer. I've never played. I'm not a huge fan of golf. I like it, but I'm not very good at it.
I like it, but I like the mini golf. Okay.
Okay, I like it, but I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you smoke? Only when I'm drinking? Yes, heavily. I'm trying to quit, or no, I don't.
Do I have to answer this? My parents are watching. Okay. Maybe I will try to quit
I'm
sometime.
trying to quit. Only when
I
I'm
have that
drinking.
in plans, that's for sure.
Which alcohol beverage is more your style? Red wine, nothing, a martini, or rum and coke?
Rum and Coke, definitely.
All right. Rum and
100%.
Coke.
We've
Where
got
would you
50
rather...
seconds.
Okay. Oh, where would you rather go on vacation? Hawaii, Paris, Los Angeles, or New York?
Hawaii.
Okay. And how late do you usually stay up?
Late.
Late. I'm in bed pretty early. I stay up. Sometimes I see the sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. We got to go to commercial?
Yeah.
Okay. We will be back with the results to this quiz
Thank
after
you.
the commercial break.
It's so fun, actually. I like that one. Do that to me more often. You guys, this is the Great American Weekend, and we will be back after a break with Master Steve and Ina MK. Stay tuned. It's gonna be hot in winter.
I would never live in America.
Why not? Didn't you enjoy your time there?
Yeah, why not?
It was good, but it wasn't great.
Because you didn't know us when you were there.
Join Ina MK, Master Steve, and Hasva QT for a great American experience.
Every Saturday on the Great American Weekend.
Welcome back to the Great American Weekend, and I can't wait to hear the results of the quiz that Master Steve was putting me through.
Yeah, that was a long one. It's kind of torturous.
Yeah, it was.
So, you are Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh.
Comedian, singer, dancer, tap dancer. He does great impressions.
Okay.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Call me Sammy.
Sammy.
Call me Sammy after 6. Okay, thank you, Steven.
So,
That
now,
was both educative and interesting.
yeah. Now, the other great American birthday this week, actually it was last week, a couple days ago, was Walt Disney. Have you ever been to Disneyland or Disney World?
I have.
Yeah. Which one?
Florida.
Florida? Oh.
It was amazing. They had this big parade at that period.
Oh, they do all the time. They always have the big parade, like every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. I was like a little child. I think, if I'm not, no, I was still 15. I hadn't even turned 16 yet. And I traveled there with a group of exchange students from all over the states. When I tried everything. I mean, all the extreme and dangerous and fun.
Space
stuff.
Mountain. Did you go on Space Mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah, Space Mountain.
I did bungee jumping.
Bungee jumping? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they had bungee jumping there.
They do.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And I did. They asked me how old I am. And I was like, please, please, please let me do that. And they said, like, you have to have an adult with you and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, please, I might never, ever been to America again. I might never, ever visit America. This is my only chance. We don't have it in Armenia. Sorry.
No.
But we didn't have that back. We didn't have bungee jumping back then. So that's what I did. And it was
That's
fun.
Cool. That's really cool.
I have the pictures. I'll bring them over with me
Yeah,
next time.
you should. That would be cool to see.
The evidence.
That would be cool to see.
And I saw all the characters of my favorite cartoons.
What was your favorite character to see?
Mermaid. The Little Mermaid.
They have the Little Mermaid like out walking around. Yeah, I suppose they do. I have seen that. But as Ariel with legs.
Yeah.
Here I am picturing in my head like a mermaid wandering around. And I'm like, how the heck did they do that? No. She has legs for most of the movie. And after the story's over, she has legs for the rest of her life.
If I was her, I would just stay under the sea. Under the sea. Under the sea. Okay. So what's your favorite Disney cartoon character?
Of the classic ones, my favorite was Robin Hood. I loved that. And the music and that was my favorite one when I was a little kid. And I suppose of the newer ones, my favorite is probably Aladdin. Because, Robin Williams is crazy. He is so awesome. And it seems like that sort of cartoon environment for him to be in with all of the different impressions and stuff that he did.
Yeah.
It was awesome to see him in that.
It was Robin Williams.
The genie in Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
It
because
is.
guess what? I've watched it with Russian translation.
Yeah. Okay.
And
they actually weren't supposed to. Apparently, he did it, and he wasn't. I don't know why, but he wasn't quite certain how well it would go over, and so he didn't want it to be publicized that it was him.
Why?
I don't know, because he just didn't. I don't know exactly why, but word got out, and Disney ended up promoting it as a Robin Williams movie, which he was not happy about. But then it was a huge hit, and I think he was like, "Well, yeah, okay, But just the idea that he would be the genie, and then the genie can just change shapes and turn into whoever he's doing an impersonation of. And whatever he's doing, I remember he's
an awesome actor.
Yeah, I saw it when it first came out, so I got a lot of the references. When he was Rodney Dangerfield, I get no respect. And he turns into Rodney Dangerfield with the pulling on his tie, and then he does the Jack Nicholson thing at one point. So I knew all of those when I was watching it. But then when my kids were little and they watched it, of course they don't know.
Yeah.
But they still think it's funny.
They still love it. Yeah.
Even though they don't really get what the reference is to.
You know what? When I really realized how awesome it is to watch actually the Disney cartoons in the original language, it was when I watched The Emperor's New Groove in America. It was so awesome. Is this my voice? Is this my voice? Oh well.
That's one that I didn't see until recently.
Oh, it is.
Actually,
I love it. It's a really cool one.
Yeah, it is a good one. It is good. With Krunk and that. Yeah,
Krunk.
They're always doing. Disney just has a knack for doing great things. And Walt Disney was the first person, Disney Studio, they were the first ones to make a full-length animated picture. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was the first one ever. Before that, all of them were shorts. And going from the first one to still being probably the best, animation studio in the world, that's pretty cool. And that, 80 years or something like that they've been at it?
Wow, that's cool. 80 years. And guys, we have to do this really quick. We have another break, and we will be back after the break with more winter stuff. Stay tuned. This is the Great American Weekend.
What's the best word in American English?
My all-time favorite word is but I usually refer to it as lovemaking.
Become more fluent in American English and slang.
Welcome back to the Great American Weekend here on Radio Vaughn. I'm here with Ina MK.
And I'm here with Master Steve.
And we've got some...
Robin Hood. The Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
Hood.
Robin Hood.
Robin.
Oh yeah, don't get me started. I love that movie. So we've got some winter-related kind of idioms and phrases from America. And this is one that you found that I guess to catch one's death.
I like that one.
I mean, I know it, I've heard it, but I guess it's just not that common. But it is kind of clever. It's not like to get sick and die. Mm-hmm. It just means that you go outside in the cold weather and you get real sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You might catch your death. Be careful.
Yeah. Dress warm.
Dress warm.
Yeah. Bundle up.
Bundle up.
Bundle up.
Cuddle
Wrap yourself in all sorts
up?
of... Cuddle up? Well, okay, bundle up you can do by yourself. That's just dressing warm, putting on lots of warm stuff, like your nice big parka and stocking cap and your mittens. What are mittens? You know what mittens are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mittens are gloves without fingers.
Without fingers, yeah.
Helps keep your hands a little bit warmer. But see, adults don't wear mittens. Mittens are kind of a kid's thing.
Yeah, it's a childhood memory thing.
Yeah. So to bundle up, to cuddle up is usually involves another person. Like you cuddle up to someone or something. Like you cuddle up with the dog, or you cuddle up with your kid
stuffed
is sick.
Toy.
Yeah, or with a stuffed toy. Yeah. Let's see, a cold snap. That just means when it gets cold out, like when the cold weather comes in. Little patch of cold weather here, Next few days, there's going to be a cold snap. It's going to be a little bit colder.
Cold slap.
Cold snap. No, snap.
Yeah, snap.
Yeah. The opposite of that, of course, is a heat wave.
Heat wave.
A heat wave. You can have a winter heat wave in Minnesota, and it'll actually get above 0 Fahrenheit.
Celsius.
Celsius. Oh, above 0 Celsius? No, you don't see that in Minnesota in the winter. No. Jack Frost is a name for winter.
Snowman.
Jack Frost. No, Frosty is the snowman. Frosty.
Yeah.
Jack Frost is winter, like Old Man Winter. And I always got confused with, Jack Frost and Zimmer Papik. Zimmer Papik is Grandfather Winter, but he's not like
he's
the
Santa.
winter. He's Santa
Armenian
Claus.
Santa.
Yeah, he's the Armenian Santa. I was like, huh? Okay. So Jack Frost is nipping at your nose. That lyric from that nice wintry song.
One of my favorite new songs by Sia is Snowman. My snowman and me.
Oh, I don't know that one. I don't know that one.
Cool
So yeah, the Nat King, we were talking about Nat King Cole earlier in the show. Nat King Cole's chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Right? The classic Christmas winter song, right? Snow. Okay, you can have a blanket of snow. Mm-hmm. So like a big, kind of, a few centimeters that need just covering everything. Like you threw a blanket over it and you can't see anything. You can also have a dusting of snow. Just a light little bit. Maybe you can still see the grass underneath it or the sidewalk.
And you can never play snowballs.
Yeah. Well, you can. It's just more difficult.
Yeah.
You get your gloves really dirty and then your mom gets mad.
Yeah.
Wash them and everything. Or you can have a dumping of snow. Just
falling down.
Yeah, like when you get a foot of snow overnight, which would be like 33 centimeters overnight, just boom. And then you don't have to go to school the next day.
Right.
Well, no, actually, that almost never happens in Minnesota. Minnesota is really good about plowing the streets and cleaning it. So yeah, you literally have to get it like 33 centimeters or more in less than 8 hours
Come
in
on,
Minnesota.
Guys, make those kids happy. Close the school.
I think I remember being off more for cold. I mean, it would just get dreadfully cold sometimes. Like if I'm remembering right and kind of doing the math right, we're talking like 40, 45 degrees below zero Celsius. I mean, really wickedly cold.
That's
sometimes
extremely
in Minnesota.
cold.
Yeah, wicked cold.
You might catch your death.
Yes, you might. The dead of winter, meaning like in the middle of winter. And this is something like in Minnesota, in a lot of places in the U.S., you can have just these horribly cold days, right? Horribly cold days. But there's this nice blanket of snow on the ground and the sun is out. So you got to wear your sunglasses. It's because
it might make you blind.
Yeah, and that's wonderful. Even if you don't go outside, because you can go outside and stick your hand out in the wind for 2 minutes and end up with frostbite in Minnesota sometimes on days like that. Beards are so much fun because they get all iced up and you have like icicles coming. Anyway, or even your eyelashes or your eyebrows can just get covered in ice just from the steam from your breath coming out. They talk about the spit freezing before it hits the ground. You spit and it freezes before it hits the ground.
Does it really?
It does sometimes. It does sometimes. So the dead of winter, being snowed in or having a snow day. Being snowed in means that you got so much snow that you can't get out of your house or you can't get your car out. So you got to, break out the snowblower or the shovels and clear out the snow first before you can get out. A snow day, of course, is when there's so much snow. There's so much snow that they have to cancel school. Some other ones that I like. Well, this is just about cold. It's cold as hell, which makes no sense,
really funny.
But yeah, it's cold as hell. You can freeze your blank off, and you can put like anything into that blank. Freeze your butt off, freeze whatever. This is a family show.
Other stuff.
And I like that having a snowball's chance in hell.
Oh.
Meaning you don't have any chance. Like, how long is a snowball going to survive in hell? No, it's going to melt and be gone. So when you say like you have no chance, you've got a snowball's chance in hell. There's also the when hell freezes over. Right? When hell freezes. Yeah, I'll do that when hell freezes over. Like never. Which they forget that in Dante's Inferno, the lowest part of hell was actually frozen. It wasn't hot. But the Eagles, the great band, the Eagles. Okay, I forget which guy it was
Hotel
from the
California?
Eagles. Yeah. I forget which one of the guys it was. He was asked at one point after the band broke up, "Are you guys ever going to perform together again?" And he said, "Yeah, when hell freezes over." And then they got together like 15 years later in like the mid 90s and they went on tour and released a new album. And you know what they called it? Hell Freezes Over. It was the Hell Freezes Over tour.
Yeah. And excuse me. Thank you for the phrases. Thank you for this moment of education, as always. And of course, we're out of time, and I don't have time for my interesting facts about winter.
No, we do.
We'll do that after.
Well, look, you act like the commercial break is the end of the world. It's not. We're just paying the bills. We'll be back.
We'll be back, guys. This is a Great American Weekend. Winter is here. We'll be back.
Oh, say, can you see?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed?
Adamast, what are you doing?
He's trying not to forget where he came from.
Welcome back to the Great American Weekend here on Radio Van. We are almost done, but we still have some information about snow and winter.
The most important piece of advice that you can give
Something
children.
is coming.
Yeah, the most important piece of advice that you can give children about winter is don't eat the yellow snow.
No, you're not saying this.
Yeah, don't eat the yellow snow. Do you know what that means?
Yes. I know what that means.
Do I have to explain this?
Yes, you have to.
Oh, no.
You said that.
See, like in the U.S., everybody knows what that means. Don't eat the yellow snow. The yellow snow is the snow that something has peed on, whether it's the dog or the
Someone else.
Someone else.
Some drunk person. Yeah, that's a good advice.
Well, if the snow
Thank
is
you.
yellow, that means that it wasn't cold enough for the pea to freeze before it hit the ground.
Ladies and
which
gentlemen,
is a whole nother level of cold.
we're summing up. The whole show was about the most important advice. Do not eat the yellow snow. Okay.
You probably
Thank
shouldn't. You probably shouldn't use it to make frosty either. And it's really, really mean if you use it to make snowballs and throw them at people.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah, the snowballs. And another. Don't throw snowballs at cars.
Okay.
Yeah, don't throw. You can get a lot of trouble for that.
Cold hands, warm heart.
Cold hands, warm heart.
Okay, I've got some interesting facts about winter, which
good.
I'm
Okay.
going to read it out. And now let's start from the first one. It sometimes snows where you least expected. You would be shocked to see snow on the ground of Siberia or Minnesota
You're comparing Minnesota to Siberia?
when traveling to
That's
those
actually
places.
a pretty decent comparison.
But northern areas don't have monopoly on snowfall. The white stuff has been known to touch down everywhere from the Sahara Desert to Hawaii. Even the driest place on Earth isn't immune. In 2011, the Atacama Desert in Chile received nearly 32 inches of snow thanks to a rare cold front from our Antarctica.
From Antarctica? Wow, 32 inches of
Can you
snow. That's
imagine?
pretty good, yeah.
In a desert.
Yeah.
That would look pretty awesome, I think. Would be beautiful. Snowflakes come in all sizes. The average snowflake ranges from a size slightly smaller than a penny to the width of a human hair. But according to some unverified sources, they can grow much larger. Witnesses of a snowstorm in Fort Keogh, Montana, in 1887 claimed to see milk pan-sized crystals fall from the sky. If true, that would make them the largest snowflakes ever spotted at around 15 inches wide.
Ouch.
Oh my goodness.
Run for cover, the snow is coming.
It's like
and
it's the most
big.
wonderful time of the year.
Oh, ow.
A little water can add up to a lot of snow. The air doesn't need to be super moist to produce impressive amounts of snow. Unlike plain rainfall, a bank of fluffy snow contains lots of air that adds to its bulk. That's why what would have been an inch of rain in the summer equals about 10 inches of snow in the colder months.
Wow, 10 inches. That's a lot.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Well, yeah, because it expands as it freezes.
Yeah.
And if it freezes at the right speed, then it's big crystals and it's,
Don't pee on the snow.
But where else am I supposed? Well, okay. With the dogs.
Forget about
yeah,
it.
the yellow.
You can hear.
You brought it up, the yellow snow.
Because I am so easy at learning. You can hear thunder snow when the conditions are right. If you've ever heard the unmistakable rumble of thunder in the middle of a snowstorm, that's not your ears playing tricks on you. It's likely thunder snow, a rare winter weather phenomenon that's most common near lakes. And I'm gonna hear the read.
That's interesting.
Yeah, snow falls at 1 to 6 feet per second. Did you know that? At least in the case of snowflakes.
Oh, I'm confused. I'm like, that's how fast it falls from the sky. I'm thinking 1 to 6 feet per second of accumulation of snow.
No, at least in the case of snowflakes with broad structures which act as parachutes. Snow that falls in the form of pellet-like graupel travels to Earth at a much faster rate. Okay, number 6. It doesn't take long for the temperature to drop. Don't take mild conditions in the middle of January as an excuse to leave home without a jacket. Rapid City, South Dakota's weather records from January 10th, 1911 show just how fast temperatures can plummet. The day started out at a pleasant 55 Fahrenheit, then over the course of 15 minutes, a wicked cold front brought the temperature down to 8 degrees. That day still holds the record for quickest cold snap in history. Cold snap.
Yep, cold snap.
Number 7, the Earth is closest to the sun during the winter.
Which doesn't make sense, you would think.
Yeah.
It's coldest when we're closest to the sun.
But I'm going to read this really fast because we've got one more minute left. More than 22 million tons of salt are used on U.S. roads each winter.
And most of that is in Minnesota, I think.
That comes out to about 137 pounds of salt per person. Wow. Yeah. The snowiest city on Earth is in Japan. Interesting. The next one. Sometimes snowballs form themselves.
No.
Yeah.
No, there are little gnomes out there. The garden gnomes are making those snowballs. They don't form themselves.
And let me pick out one last thing because we're almost out of time. When snow is best for snowman building, according to science. Physics confirms that you've likely known since childhood snow on the wet or moist side is best for building your own backyard.
Oh
frosty.
my gosh, I'm glad I know that now, because if you would have told me before scientists proved it, I would never have believed it. Every penny that they spent doing that study is just well spent. Kudos. Who did science needs to do? Okay.
This is the Great American Weekend. We'll
time
be
for a
back
commercial break.
After the break with the calendar of events for the upcoming week. Stay tuned.
Hey, what kind of fixins do you like on your hot dog?
Fixins?
Yeah, relish, onions, mustard, ketchup, condiments.
No, not that.
Oh, fixins. I love chili dogs.
Learn about American cuisine on the Great American Weekend.
Welcome back to the Great American Weekend here on Radio Vaughn.
This is the last segment for our show tonight, and let's see what we can do for this wintry first week.
So don't let the cold weather of winter get you down. Don't stay at home and hibernate, and unless you got good people and good drinks and a fireplace, and you can. Never mind. No,
and your
don't
own
do that. Don't do that. Get out. See some live music. Don't get all depressed and stay home just because it's winter. We've got some good stuff going on this coming week. Of course, the American Corner in Yerevan is going to have some stuff going on. We don't have the details on that yet, but we will share them in our Facebook group as soon as they're posted. And of course, the regular stuff is going, the reading group and the art in conversation as well.
Yeah. And now let's see what they have in opera and ballet theater. Are Duet, German music night at the theater's special event hall, December 10th at 7 p.m. There is a premiere Un Baio in Maschera opera in 3 acts, December 12th at 7 p.m.
Great and live music, Los Reyes Quartet, December 8th at Ulihanyan Club. There's Yellowstones at Mezzo Music Club, also on December 8th. Sunday, the live drive day, Kami and Friends Project at Kami Music Club on December 8th. Winter Dreams with the Colors of Music Band at Kami Club on December 9th. Trial Period, it's a band. They're live at the venue on December 11th at 7:30 p.m. Lucy Hanyan Trio, folk fusion band. They're December 12th at Uli Hanyan Club. The Ness Band is playing at Mezzo on December 13th. And Winter Drive again at Kami with Sirbuk, Kami Club again, December 14th. And there's another story band at Ginovgats. You actually, okay, Ginovgats.
You did it the previous time.
Ginovgats, yeah. It would be better if it was in Armenian characters, probably. Anyway, yeah. So another story band at the Wine House on December 14th.
And we have some other events that would like to share. An evening with Avishai Cohen featuring ASSO, which is the orchestra, the youth.
Yeah, the youth orchestra.
Malchas 75th Jubilee. This is all within the framework of the great legend of jazz, Armenian Malchas. At Sport and Concert Complex, December 8th at 7:30 p.m. We've got Maxim Vengerov, 7th Khachaturian Festival opening ceremony. December 14th at 6 p.m. at Aram Khachaturian Concert Hall. Who Stole Christmas? Performance for kids at Yerevan State Puppet Theater. It's a great one. I'm going to go and see it again with Sasha this time. December 14th at noon, at 2 p.m. and at 4 p.m. There is a movie quiz, Revival at the Loft, December 13th at 7 p.m. Christmas Expo 2020, December 13th through 19th, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Mergelian Cluster. Main Ground Volume 1, December 13th at 7 p.m. This is a first rap concert in Yerevan at Lamun Gastro Bar. A Baird Dance Ensembles concert at Opera and Ballet Theater, December 15th at 7 p.m. And we have Evening of Johannes Brahms compositions at Gafeshan Center, December 13th at 8 p.m. Now, this is all that we had prepared for you for this upcoming week.
Which, I mean, this is all that we have in the upcoming week. That's plenty enough, I think.
Yeah, that's plenty enough, I think.
We sometimes say it like that's all we've got going on this week in Yerevan, but that's a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on.
There is. And let's wish everyone a comfy, a cozy, and warmy beginning and continuation of winter. Mm-hmm. We're all anxious. And
stay warm, but don't stay home. Get out.
Oh, I like that one. Did you make that up?
I think so.
Stay warm, but don't stay home.
Stay warm, but don't stay home.
I think we should create another segment with rhymes from Rhymes by Master Steve on Radio Van 103.1. And we were talking about winter, about
Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., of course, the Rat Pack, because it comes with those two guys, and a little bit about Walt Disney, too, because those are some big birthdays. At the beginning of December, big American birthdays.
And we'll be with you back on air next upcoming Saturday on the 14th of December here in the studio with Master Steve
and Ina MK for the Great American Weekend on Radio Van. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. And one more thing I would like to remind.
Really? A surprise?
You can catch our show every Monday when we post it in our group, Radio Van. First Radio Van Facebook page, which is Radio Van FM 103.1. Also our Facebook group, our show's Facebook group, which is Great American Weekend Radio Van. And also our website, www.radiovan.fm. Thank you guys for being with us tonight. Thanks for listening, and we hope that you will enjoy our other shows before we go on a winter break. Bye-bye.